Hi, everyone. My name is Kim Perret. I'm with Sacred Heart University. Welcome to Virtual College Exploration by IACAC, the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling. I'm just going to go over a few things before we start. First of all, you guys are all muted and so we can't see you or hear you, but you can ask questions of our presenter by using the Q&A button. You can type in questions at any time and our presenter will get to those as soon as she can. And also just a reminder that this session will be recorded and you can listen to it over again at www.iacac.org. Also, there are many other sessions that have been recorded as well. So please feel free to do that as well. All right, I'm going to turn it over to our presenter.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Jess and I'm from Cardinal Stritch University. We're a small private Catholic Franciscan university located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We were founded in 1937 by the Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi, so quite a few years ago, and we do have that Catholic heritage within our culture and our curriculum. I do always love to note, though, that just because we are a Catholic Franciscan university, we're a really welcoming university and a very diverse campus. So a lot of students sometimes tend to be a little weary about Catholic universities, but we have a really diverse and welcoming campus. So it's definitely a place to keep in mind. So I always love to kind of show a previous class picture when I am giving presentations or talking with students, just to really give some students an idea of how big or small our campus is. And as you can see from the picture on the screen here, this is our class of 2023. It's a really small incoming class. So we are a small institution where we can actually fit our whole incoming class into one picture. So if that is something you're interested in, we definitely have a small community on our campus. Here's a picture of our campus. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Milwaukee area or have not visited campus yet, it's a gorgeous campus. We are more in a residential area of Milwaukee. So we're about 15 minutes from downtown, which gives us a really great location for internships, career opportunities, social life, but then also giving us a really safe campus feel. We are ranked the safest campus in the state of Wisconsin, which is a really great thing, especially because we are so central to downtown Milwaukee. We're also a mile or so from Lake Michigan, so there's some gorgeous views for sunsets, sunrises, and some really great walking paths for our students to check out. Another thing that I always love to point out to students, and they love it too, is the fact that almost all of our buildings on campus are connected. So you can see on the screen there's only two buildings that are not connected, and those would be our Performing Arts Center and our upperclassmen residence halls. But our underclassmen, for our freshmen, they're connected to all of our classrooms. So you have about a 7-minute walk from your bed all the way to your classroom. And in our Wisconsin winters, you don't even have to grab your coat. So it's a really nice perk that all of our buildings are connected, and a lot of our students really love that feature. So Stritch at a glance. If you haven't heard of us, this is just kind of like a rundown of the essentials that you need to know. Like I mentioned, we are a Catholic Franciscan university, so we do have those Franciscan values. They are creating a caring community, reverencing all creation, showing compassion, and making peace. So those four values are really embedded in our culture and in our curriculum. And we do pick one each year to kind of highlight through our service work in our campus community, but also in the Milwaukee community. So for example, last year, our value of the year was reverencing all creation. So our Eco Club actually collected those plastic grocery bags that you get when you go grocery shopping from everyone on campus, staff, faculty, and students. And they made beds out of those bags for homeless shelters in the Milwaukee area. So it's just kind of one example how we really live through our values each year. And I did mention, we are Catholic Franciscan, but very diverse. So you can actually see here in our little screen here that more than 50% of our campus does not identify as white, and we actually represent over 44 different countries within our student population. So we have a really large culture on our campus, and it's really embedded within our community, and we recognize those through events on campus, like our international fair, Our students are constantly meeting people from all different walks of life, and we love that as staff and faculty, but also for our students, the fact that you get to meet someone from Brazil and Ireland and England in a small community in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is a really great opportunity for students just to get to know so many different types of people. I did say we're small, but how small are we? We're just under 1,300 undergraduate students. So that is a pretty small college. There's just under 700 graduate students. So you can easily transition from your undergrad at Stritch to your master's degree, which is a really great path. With it being such a small campus, we do have really small classrooms. It's actually a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So there's a lot of one-on-one time within the classrooms, but also with other staff and faculty that you're interacting with. It really makes it feel kind of like a family and a community. So you're not in those large lecture halls like you see in movies and TV. You're really getting a tailored personal education. So academics. So I did mention that 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So that factor is in fact how most of our classrooms are set up, which is a really great perk, especially nowadays with COVID. We are having our classes in person because we do have such small classroom sizes. It also has a really great perk to the fact that you're getting to know your professors one-on-one. Since Stritch is a direct entry university and all of our programs are direct entry and we're small, you're really working with the same professors throughout all 4 years. And that's a really great perk because they're going to know you, they're going to know your learning style, and it's a really great reference to have on your resume for outside careers after you graduate, for internships, for letters of recommendation, and so on. So it's a really great portion within our academics. Within the program structure at Stritch, so the majors that you are interested in pursuing, we do have an interdisciplinary curriculum. So what that means is that we're making sure that our students are prepared in literacies, leadership, and lifelong learning. And with that, it's through all of our different cores. So we do have a professional core, and then a general liberal arts core, and then the major credits that you'd be taking for your program. The professional core is probably my favorite part about our academic structure at Stritch because it's making sure that our students are ready and prepared to be the best job candidates out there. So you're going to get that high impact hands-on learning for resume building and interview skills, internships, student teaching, clinicals, and so on. So it's some really great opportunities to make sure that you're successful after your 4 years at Stritch. With the majors structure, we do have our traditional majors, and our most popular ones are nursing, business, education, biology, and psychology. But the really cool thing about the majors is they allow for a lot of freedom and personalization. The way that the programs are structured is you are combining 3 different areas of concentrations, and that's building your major. So for example, on the screen here, you can see we have a student who combines math, biology, and computer science, and that created the program of bioinformatics. That was that student's pathway, that was their career goal that they wanted to get to. So they built that program with those 3 different concentration areas. And of course, when you're kind of building your concentrations and your program structure, you're working really closely with an academic advisor and with staff and faculty to make sure that you are on the right path for a 4-year graduation plan, which Stritch does have, as well as making sure that there are career goals lined up for that and internships, figuring out if you need to do research, case studies, projects, service hours, and so on. So we're really making sure that the program you're selecting and working towards is successful, and we are successful in helping you towards those next steps. Experiential learning career education is something that Stritch really values. So that's basically a fancy term for getting that hands-on experience, for getting your name out there in the professional world and the career that you want to pursue. So we have a whole center on campus. It's called the Experiential Learning Career Education Center. And our staff there are strictly devoted to helping our students with their career goals. So that's making sure that you're getting your exposure, capacity building, building those resumes, prepping your interview skills. So it's just an extension from our professional core and additional resource for our students to utilize. You can also utilize that center for on-campus jobs, service hours. They do help with student teaching opportunities, clinicals, and any other outside professional experience that you're needing. It's a really great center that our students tend to utilize pretty frequently, especially because most of our programs do require at least one internship, typically around your junior or senior year. So it's definitely a really great resource for our students on campus. Learning communities. Learning communities are a really unique thing to Stritch, and it's something that we're really proud of. Of course, you have the Stritch community, you have your community of friends and your little bubble, the greater Milwaukee community. But within Stritch, we do have two really critical learning communities that we love to highlight for our students to get involved in. The first one is our Franciscan Servant Scholars. So this is a really great program that connects academic coursework with service to the community. It does also have a scholarship, and there's a lot of volunteer and service activities involved with it. So that's a really great program to get involved with. The second one is the Leaders Initiative, and I actually work very closely with the director of this program, and it provides students the opportunity to build a community, develop relationships, and really become engaged and connected to Stritch within your first year on campus. It's ideally for students who are first generation college students, minority students, low income, and just really the student who's nervous about going off to college. You get so many perks being a part of the Leaders Initiative. There's their own orientation, you have shared courses and seminars, weekly meetings, there's service hours, lots of retreats and reflection opportunities, some really cool events that are available for those leader students. And so I highly encourage all of our students who are just a little weary about going off to college, really get involved. And these are two great communities to definitely check out. Stritch alum. So obviously, when you're going to college, you want to get a job, right? You want to be successful, you want to make money, you want to pay back those student loans if you have any. So we are so proud of our Stritch alum at Cardinal Stritch University because 98.4% of our students are employed or in grad school within 6 months after graduation. That is a crazy high statistic, and that is something we are so proud of. And I really believe that is because we help set our students up for success with ample amount of resources for student teaching, internships, clinicals, and so on. We're making sure that you're getting that exposure and capacity building for your career path. As you can see, 93% of our students do complete internships, clinicals, and student teaching. And like I mentioned before, that's mostly because they're required for half of our programs. So we're really pushing you to make sure that you're going to be successful in your major and outside after college. Some top employers where our Stritch graduates work are Milwaukee Public School Systems. That's for our education majors, sometimes our psychology and counseling majors, Mayo Clinic for our medical field majors, Northwestern Mutual, Harley Davidson, and 3M. Those are some three top name places of employment in the Milwaukee area. They are very well known across the nation, and we love that our students have those connections established. The really cool thing about our internship, and going back to mentioning our Experiential Learning Center on campus, is we have those pathways already established for our students to make sure that you are able to get your foot in the door for those internship opportunities, and then hopefully for those career opportunities afterwards. Knowing that Stritch has already kind of made those connections for you makes it just a tad bit easier when you are competing against 100 other students for an internship at Northwestern Mutual in their accounting program. We already have that pathway. So you're going to maybe weed out those 100 students and compete against maybe 10 because those companies know that Stritch students are successful, that they are hard workers and well prepared. So it's a really great thing to take use of that center on campus and make sure that you are utilizing them and the resources available for you for those internship and learning opportunities. I also love to note that we are the third highest salary for our students after attending compared to all the other Milwaukee area colleges and universities. So like I mentioned in the beginning of this slide, the end goal is to get a job and the end goal is to be successful. And of course, be successful. You're going to want to be able to support yourself and pay back any student loans or anything like that. So it's really great that our students are going off and making a decent salary within their first year of graduating. So it's definitely something we're proud of and we love to highlight for our students. Athletics at Stritch. So we do have athletics. We are part of the NAIA, so a little bit different with the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. A great thing with this is we do offer athletic scholarships. So if you are interested in joining the Wolf Pack and becoming a Wolf and playing on one of our teams, definitely reach out to us at Stritch within admissions and we can get you connected with the coach of the sport that you're interested in pursuing. It's really great to start that connection early because then you can start to like meet them and meet the team, watch them practice, watch them play, and see if there's really a connection there. See if it's a community that you want to be a part of, as well as with them. The coach can come and watch you practice, watch you play, and start those conversations early, especially when it comes to athletic scholarships. Some of the sports we offer are both men's and women's basketball, cross country, soccer, tennis, track and field, volleyball, and then of course women's softball. So again, if that is something you are interested in pursuing, make sure you're reaching out and getting that connection started early. If you are not interested in being a student athlete, no problem. It's still a really great opportunity to get involved, go to the game, support the Wolves with your friends, and just get to meet some new people on campus. It's a really great environment to go to and kind of cheer your college on and go to their games. Tuition and aid. So tuition is always the big question, right? Of how much is it going to cost me? What's your tuition? What's the cost to live on campus? All of those sorts of things. As you can see, our tuition is on the screen there as well as their cost of living on campus. However, I will preface this with that 100% of our students do receive student aid. So whether that is grants and scholarships from Stritch, outside, or federal grants and federal loans. So we really make sure that our students are well prepared for their tuition costs and their on-campus living if they choose to do so. So you can see that is our current tuition cost for the 2020 year. So for the next year or 2021, 2022, that tuition could change by like 1 to 3%. So not too much, but as our tuition potentially increases, please note that we do increase our scholarships. So that is something to keep in mind as well. So it's just over $33,000 for our tuition. That is the same for in-state and out-of-state students. So it's the same for everyone, all majors, etc. And then our cost to live on campus. So if you are outside of the Milwaukee area, which likely you will be because you're watching this with IACAC, you will have to live on campus. So that's just your first year. That is a requirement. So you're looking at additional about $9,000 on top of that tuition. But don't worry just yet. Like I said, we still add additional scholarship and grants. After your first year, it's totally up to you if you want to continue to live on campus or if it's more of a feasible option to move off campus because that cost is a little too high for you. Totally fine. There's a lot of housing opportunities just around the campus area within Milwaukee. So that's another option to keep in mind. So when it comes to FAFSA, we definitely encourage our students to fill out as soon as possible. So it did open October 1st for our seniors right now. If you are a junior, sophomore, or younger, make sure that you're just keeping an eye when it comes to be your turn to make sure that you're filling that out if you're able to as soon as possible. Our school code is right on there, so go ahead and jot that down for when you are looking to add Stritch to your FAFSA. The priority deadline for this is December 15th. Typically after that priority deadline, and once you submit your FAFSA to the government, our financial aid office will receive that information. And that's when our financial aid counselors are starting to make full aid packages for our students. So that means we're applying what FAFSA and the government has awarded you, but we're also going to apply additional scholarships from our end and grants. So that free money, which is what you definitely want. So around Christmas time, beginning of the new year, typically, is when students can start to expect to receive their full financial aid package. That makes it a lot easier for myself, the admissions counselor, and you, the students, to kind of work on that, to see if there's any additional scholarships out there that we maybe want to search for or strive towards, and to see if there's any financial concerns right away. And that gives us plenty of time to work on things before a decision needs to be made. If you need to kind of calculate how much it's going to cost me, we do have a net price calculator on our Stritch website, so check that out. And I also always have to say that on average, our students are only paying about $5,000 or less out of pocket each year. So again, there is that scary sticker shock price of that $33,000. That's a scary number. I am not dismissing that at all. But with all of the grants and scholarships, it's an average of $5,000 or less out of pocket. If you ever have any questions about financial aid, scholarships, loans, FAFSA in general, our financial aid office is a great resource for our students and our prospective students. Don't hesitate to check out the website, contact them, and ask them any questions that you have. They can set up one-on-one meetings, phone calls, virtual visits like this, whatever it is that would make you feel most comfortable. It just always helps to make sure that you're having that communication with them. So scholarships and grants. I mentioned this several times, but what scholarships do we have? We have several merit scholarships for our students. This does include the Franciscan Heritage Scholarship. So this is based off of test scores, if you have taken them, and your high school GPA. They range from $15,000 to $22,000 each year. Whichever one you receive your first year, you're guaranteed that all 4 years. So let's say you come in and you receive the $19,000 Franciscan Heritage Scholarship. You know that you're guaranteed that $19,000 scholarship all 4 years. So that's your minimum of what you're getting. On top of that, of course, there's other scholarships and grants, like the ones on the screen here. Campus visit grant, it's $500 per year, stacks every year again. So that's going on to whichever one you're receiving for merit. And that is as simple as coming and checking out our campus and meeting with someone at admissions like myself. I mean, that's pretty easy money. That's about $2,000 for the 4 years, right? Break that down for about an hour campus visit. I don't know a job that pays that well. And if you find one, let me know. But our campus grant is a really great opportunity because it's urging you to come check out the campus, which we encourage you to do so anyway. And it's free money. On top of that, we do have full tuition scholarships. These are invitation only for consideration, and they do require additional materials. So if you are a stellar student and you're striving towards some high GPA and some high test scores, talk with admissions. We'd love to tell you more about the full tuition scholarship and maybe where you need to be receiving that. On top of those, there's other scholarships that we offer. The most common one is our Timothy M. Dolan Scholarship that is for our students who attend a Catholic high school. So if you're currently attending a Catholic high school and you will graduate from a Catholic high school, you are eligible for an additional scholarship. It's typically around $1,700 each year. So that's another really awesome scholarship. There's that athletic scholarship, like I mentioned. There's visual and performing arts scholarships. There's other scholarships for certain majors you may be interested in, as well as our legacy scholarship. Legacy scholarship is another super easy, awesome scholarship. If you have an immediate family member who attended and graduated from Stritch, so mom, dad, brother, sister, that sort of thing, you're eligible for an additional scholarship just because they also attended Stritch. So some really great scholarships and grants opportunities. Again, if you have questions about any of them, talk with admissions, talk with financial aid, and we'll definitely have that conversation with you about additional grants and scholarships and answer any questions that you have. So applying to Stritch. The application is online and it is free. You can go to stritch.edu/apply, or you can fill it out through the Common App. Please, please, please just fill it out. It's free and it's online. It takes maybe about 5 to 7 minutes. You're just doing your general contact information. I'm so-and-so, I go to such and such high school. This is my address. Here's my name and my email, phone number, etc. 5 minutes tops. After that, we do have a personal statement that is not required, but highly encouraged. And then you're going to be sending us your official high school transcripts. So to be official, that means it cannot come from you. It must come from someone at your high school counselor, your principal secretary, someone along those lines. It must be an official high school transcript and sent to us via mail or via email. It cannot come from a student. Next would be test scores. Obviously, right now with COVID, ACT and SAT test options are a little limited. So let's say you are not able to take it in your junior year and in your senior year now, we do have a test optional path. That's also if you took it and you don't love your score, or you're just not intending to take the ACT or SAT because you're not a good test taker. we do have test optional admissions paths. So with test optional, it does require additional materials. We will absolutely want that personal statement or a personal essay talking about your readiness for college. What are your goals? How have you prepared yourself to attend college? Why are you interested in attending Stritch? That those sorts of things. Definitely send those in. Plus, additional materials will be letters of recommendation from a high school counselor, a teacher, an employer, someone along those lines. Cannot be your mom and dad, though, unfortunately. Other great things to send in would be a resume. So let's see your job experience, talk about the clubs and organizations you've been a part of in high school, any sports you play, that sort of thing. Once we receive those materials that are absolutely necessary for applying and acceptance or making a decision, we typically have a 3 to 5 business day turnaround time. So again, once we get everything, you'll find out an admissions decision within 3 to 5 business days. That's a really quick turnaround process. So again, it's why I just really encourage our students to just submit the application, fill the materials out, because then you're knowing as soon as we know, and then we can start talking about your options, your goals, scholarship, and so on. Additional things that are always great to send in would be any college transcripts. So if you're doing any dual enrollment, took any college credits, those sorts of things, send those in because you could get some college credit at Stritch, which is always a great thing because then you're limiting your time and maybe any additional cost. AP and IB scores, as well as placement exams, are also great things to send in. We love seeing students who take AP courses and IB courses. If you're in them, take the test. It's awesome to get some college credit for those AP and IB courses. Send them over to us, and then we'll take a look at what that's transferring into credits at Stritch. Placement exams, they allow us to kind of look at where you are as a student within your English and writing, as well as your math and science placements. So if you've taken any or you're interested in taking some for Stritch, you think you're a stellar English student, ask about a placement exam. Maybe you'll be placed into a higher English course. So those are just some of the general things that are needed for applying to Stritch. Again, any questions about the application process or materials or anything like that, you can always reach out to anyone within Stritch admissions, and we're more than willing to help you and kind of talk to you about what you're missing or what is needed for your application. So what's next? Of course, apply online. Like I said, it's free online, so easy. Send those transcripts, the ACT and SAT scores. Those are absolutely needed. Again, if you're going test optional, just don't forget that there are other materials that you will need to send. Make sure that you're preparing to submit your FAFSA, especially if you are currently a senior. That opened October 1st, so that was 21 days ago. So make sure that you are preparing that, getting the taxes ready, meeting with your mom and dad, your guardians, whoever you're going to be filling that out with. Make sure that you're preparing to submit that. Next would be to schedule a visit with Stritch admissions. So I am actually one of the main counselors for the Illinois area. So you meet with myself or maybe one other person. We can do them virtual or in person, but definitely try to come in person if you're able to. And if it's not too long of a drive for you, it's totally worth it to see the college campus. We could get you in contact with maybe a professor of a program you're interested in. You can see the classroom, talk to current students, see the cafeteria and the union and our on-campus coffee shop, those sorts of things. It makes a big difference when you're physically on the campus. Plus, you get that scholarship, like I mentioned. So I really encourage you to check that out. We do have a lot of visit opportunities available right now, safely one-on-one as well. So if you are concerned about contacts, we are doing everything we can to make sure that our campus is safe for our students to come and visit. Next thing would be watch for any on-campus visit opportunities. Right now with our larger events, we're kind of doing a hybrid model of some virtual, so more Zoom formats, but then also some in person as well. So we do have some Saturday visits coming up. The next one would be Saturday, November 7th. That is a morning visit, so it's 9:30, typically to about 11:30. You hear from admissions, you hear from faculty, you hear from current students, and you get a campus tour. You also get that scholarship grant I mentioned. So if a Saturday works better for you because mom, dad, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, whoever it is can come and visit with you, definitely check out that Saturday visit. You can check that out by going to stritch.edu/events, and that will be the easiest way to see what on-campus visit or virtual visit opportunities we are offering. Next will be joining us on Zeme, so that's a really, really great community to get involved with. Download the app, search for Cardinal Stritch University. You can connect with students who have already been admitted and are accepted, students who are in different programs and areas of interest that you're interested in, our current students, admission staff, and so on. Staying connected with us again, follow us on social, Stritch Admit You. So that is on Instagram. That's a really great opportunity, again, to kind of just interact with Stritch in a virtual way. But we do post some really awesome stories and posts where you can see what's going on campus, follow Wolfie around, see what he's up to, check out virtual tour options on Instagram as well. Next will be stay connected with us by scanning that QR code. So if you want more information, you want to be a part of our mailing list and get some cool swag in the mail, scan that QR code when you have a chance. Just kind of take your camera over to it and it should pull up the link, fill out your information, and you're right on our list. So that's, again, a really great opportunity to make sure that you're staying connected with us through these times of your sophomore, junior, senior year, and so on. So yeah, make sure that you are doing all those things. Those would be the recommended next steps. If you have any additional questions, you can always just go to the Stritch website. I really encourage everyone to just kind of explore it, look at the programs, look at the current student things, look at scholarship and aid, that sorts of things. You can always email Stritch admissions, go to the apply and visit websites, but we do have a lot of different admissions counselors within our staff. Like I mentioned, I am one of the primary Illinois admissions counselors, but we do have some other really great staff like John and Erica. They're more than willing to work with students, help them, and maybe get you connected with the right admission staff member. So my email is on the screen. That is my office phone number. Feel free to shoot me an email, give me a call. If I'm not in, leave a voicemail. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And we can just kind of talk about what your goals are, what you're interested in about Stritch, concerns, questions about the application, and so on. But I was so happy to be here today and to be talking with you guys. If there's any questions, feel free to pop them in the chats. If there are none, or you're not feeling like it right now, you can absolutely just shoot me an email at a later date and we can get that conversation going. So let's see if there's any questions going on here. All right, looks like there's no questions. Again, if you do have any questions, like I said, you can always just come and visit campus, shoot me an email, give me a call, that sort of thing. Our Stritch Admissions is always willing to help out our students who have any questions along the way. But that's everything that I prepared for you guys today. So if you need anything else, let me know. But I'm so thankful you guys for here, tuning in, watching my video from home safely tonight, tomorrow, whatever day it was. But thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys on campus again sometime soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Jessica. That was a great presentation. And thank you guys for joining us for the IACAC Virtual College Exploration. As soon as you close out the window, there will be a quick 4-question survey. And also, I encourage you to go back and listen to recorded sessions at www.iacac.org. Thank you so much.